Hey, it's Feather. I'm with my friend, uh, who will introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Salem, also known as princelytype. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube. I
And
think that's it.
yeah, with that, we're gonna be talking about just mostly like old internet stuff, because, well, it's a thing I miss. I'm sure Salem misses the old internet as well.
Of course.
Um, so we want to start with like talk about, old YouTube first of all, because nowadays it just feels like there's something like lacking in like the content now. Like, for example, you don't see as many skits or like people being like more creative with it, you know?
Yeah, it's kind of cookie cutter almost in a sense now. You see a lot of video essays and a lot of content farms. At least
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, and like it's just I remember way more being on the internet. Oh yeah, there was also gameplays, which I missed that, but I feel like Twitch has replaced that, like streamers and all. But
I
like
mean,
but even then, like I feel like the old like gameplays still feel more authentic than like the Twitch
yeah,
stuff.
I'd have to agree. I mean, while there's probably plenty of apps for like gaming or like skits or which comes to mind, TikTok comes to mind. Um there's a lot of platforms where you can post sort of the same thing as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But YouTube used to be the platform, right? Like
For
that's
all sorts of
where
content.
huh?
I
Yeah,
said,
for all sorts
yeah.
of content. You used to see like not just video essays, which have become really popular and are a valid form of content, yes, but I feel like are overdone. Not just video essays, but cosplayers, gamers, musicians, right? That used to be where you went to find music. Um, Entertainment, education, it's all right there. How to's, DIYs. YouTube used to be the place to go to find anything you really wanted, like in a video format, I think.
Yeah, um I feel like I'm not saying entirely, but I think TikTok's replaced some of this a little bit. Like, if you
Yeah.
wanted to look for a tutorial, you could just go on TikTok instead of, YouTube. I see more tutorials on TikTok, or like some of these like old forms of content on TikTok instead of YouTube, which is disappointing because TikTok's like short form content, you know?
Yeah. Whenever I see people post something like in the short form content style, there's always jokes about where you should post it. A lot of the time people say YouTube Shorts. I think, if I'm being so honest, I think not just YouTube, but a lot of apps in general and a lot of devices in general, they just have added useless things to make it seem more interesting.
For example,
Um,
I feel like they had like no reason to really add Instagram Reels because it's just copying
I don't
TikTok.
think they needed to add YouTube Shorts. I
They didn't.
really don't.
They
I
don't
don't
need
think they
that
needed to
either
add.
because like I don't know, because you could still make short form videos without it being a short or whatever, like the TikTok
Right.
format.
Well, not just that, but YouTube initially was an app for, I'm pretty sure, video content, right? So to add like short form video content to that just feels like like a useless thing to me. Like, you can already post videos of any length on YouTube. Why do we need a specific category for these? For vertical content, I mean, you can still post a vertical video on YouTube.
I
Like,
really
as
do
a
think
video.
they're just trying to compete with TikTok. I just think
Yeah.
that's the reason why they added YouTube
Well,
Shorts.
you know, that's just the way of the world, isn't it? That a lot of things will just constantly compete with each other.
Mhm.
I think we've lost the plot a little bit. You know what I'd really like to see return to YouTube?
What?
The number of dislikes on a video.
For sure.
I hate to be that guy,
For
but
sure.
I'm gonna put this opinion out there. There's probably a reason there's a whole ratio right there at the bottom of the screen of the video. There's a reason the dislikes are greater than the likes. But now I can't tell if the dislikes are greater than the likes, and I won't be able to tell like until I've watched the video to dislike it. Right? The dislikes were not as influential as I feel like a lot of people made them out to be. Because I feel like that's part of the reason they took away the number.
I legit just think they put that there just so the creator doesn't like get their feelings hurt or whatever. It's just like,
which is ridiculous. Because signing up to do YouTube in general used to be like a very like, I wouldn't say taboo, but like a very laughable thing. You weren't expected to be successful. You weren't expected to make a career out of it like some people do now. You weren't expected to, you know, go to school or work the next day and be looked at the same if anybody knew what you were doing behind a camera every day after, you know, school or work. So it's kind of...
I remember people thought it was weird when people were like, oh, my job is being a YouTuber, but now no one like really cares, you know?
People applaud it, in fact. I wish people had to struggle more to get their platform on YouTube. I feel like... First of all, I feel like YouTube shouldn't push the same people every single time. I understand they're there for a reason, but like with the popular people, put like a couple of underdogs, in my opinion. But I do feel like it's become way too easy, especially because of other apps, to become famous. Especially off of short form content. The thing I liked about YouTube way back when I was growing up was that you actually had to put effort into it, right? Even if it was, you know, kind of a shitty video, like quality wise, like you still put passion and effort into it. It wasn't just...
Now, if anything,
you know what I mean? If you have flaws, it made it more, you know, personable, right?
Yeah. But now, if anything, if you put like effort, people don't really care.
Well, not just that they don't care, but I think kind of psychologically, human people, especially now, are wired to look for the quickest information in the shortest way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make... Okay. You know what I mean? So, like, I think that's why video essays have really popped off, is so people can know what's going on without having to do their own research and without having to, you know, hear an entire lecture, because you can summarize fucking some drama in about 15 minutes. I've seen it. So, excuse me. What does that say about us as human people? I'm not sure. But what does that say about human people putting in effort? Very little, right? Very little effort being put in, at least in my opinion. I don't know, you know what I miss? I miss the fun outros. I miss the fun intros.
Yeah, I do miss that.
I miss when it wasn't all ads. I miss when it wasn't all buy my merch, promote this, and share this, right? What happened to making content for the love of the game?
Yeah, like, it just, like, back then, it felt like more that, like, anybody can do this, but now it feels like how it usually is in the real world. You're like not everybody can do this. They're like how I say
it's either you're popular or you're not. That's what it is. It's just another form of dividing classes, really, is what it is, you know? And I hate to bring other things into it, but it's kind of a terrible market, right? you either have to pick something that's really popular and be really good at that and be different, or you have to be like, you either have to be funny, attractive, rich, or that's about it. I actually think you have to be either be funny, attractive, or rich. Genuinely, you don't even have to be smart anymore. You can just produce something and people will love it, which I really don't like, because, and to talk about content farms again.
Mhm.
I feel like that's ruined YouTube a million times over, right?
I've seen I've seen like OG YouTubers that used to be on old YouTube like talk about this. Like Jacksepticeye has like talked about it, I'm pretty sure.
I love that guy. He's so cool.
I do love that guy. And he was suspicious of Mr. Beast. I'm not going off topic.
Dude, Mr. Beast is suspicious. That's
yeah, he is
okay.
A suspicious dude. And I think he's part of the reason why YouTube's like different now.
Well, of course. Look at the kind of content Mr. Beast produces. Look at the kind of content he has gone on to produce beyond YouTube. It's insane. Anyway, Jacksepticeye said what about content farms? Or what?
No, he's just always said that Mr. Beast is weird and like suspicious. There's a whole video essay about it. I know.
Well, Mr. Beast is technically a content farmer, isn't he? He's definitely a clickbaiter.
And, you know, like, at first people thought this was, like, I will say, like, he has helped people, but it's not really, like...
Does it really help, though?
No, he has helped people, but the motivation behind it isn't really about helping people. It's just...
It never is.
He gets something out of it. So...
People like that, right? And the kind of content farm I was referring to versus the kind of content farm that Mr. Beast is, right? And I'm, you know what I mean? I'm glad that you're, you know, open to this conversation, because that's where it gets a little dark. He's just a shady motherfucker. I mean, not just his newer fucking projects, none of this controversy around him or the people he's surrounded by. Just the concept of making people do weird shit for an amount of money that they probably can't live on for an extended period of time. What, they'll get like a month's worth out of that? Did you check the economy? How much it costs to live as a human being for a year? Like, it's just all evil shit, bro, and it's money. People will do anything for money, especially if they're struggling for it. And, you know, that used to be why people got onto YouTube. Well, not just why, but that was also part of the reason. And YouTube money isn't good money, but it was an easy way to make money. It was just like a hustle you could do.
Yeah.
Really. But, you know what I mean? He already has the money. He just kind of surfaced overnight. People loved him. Okay, well, that's weird that you instantly love this guy for, yes, what he's doing, but it's much deeper than that. Like,
I will say, like...
saying too much. You should have known from the start he was a weird dude.
I will say, at the start, I didn't think he was a weird dude, but that's because I used to watch his old channel. And he was just like any other YouTuber. He's like an OG. Like, he was just doing reaction videos, like, and shit like that. It was normal shit. Like, there's this, like, series he did where he was just rating, like, bad intros. Because it would just be, like...
That's just kind of funny, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It was funny. He is a funny dude. Like, I think, like... I'm gonna be honest, like, I know, like, it does depend on the person. Like, I'm not saying, like, he couldn't be a bad person before, either. But I feel like it, like, that kind of fame still
definitely wasn't as bad.
Still does kind of change people, you know?
Of course. Well, fame and money corrupts people, 100%. I've always said that.
Yeah, and, like...
Which is crazy, because I want to be rich and famous.
This was a while ago, but, like, I remember, like, watching, like, something about, like, Mr. Beast, and how, like, at the start, it was more fun, you know, because it usually is.
Right.
But now, for, like, Mr. Beast, he's, like, they describe him as, like, kind of robotic, or, like, soulless now. Like, there's something...
Well, yeah.
there's something off about him. And it's just like, I just think that's what happens. But like, it's like worth to like, I think it's worth it to like mention how like, I think it's worth it to mention how that it is like, you don't obviously like start out that way, and you could have been just like every other YouTuber, you know.
Right. He could have been another Markiplier, let's be so real.
Yeah.
And okay, I'm sorry to say this in your video. You can cut this if you want. I really don't care either way. Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of Markiplier. I don't dislike him, but I don't love him. You know, I guess that makes me kind of an odd one out because everybody seems to want to suck his dick. I kind of just want him to, I don't know, move on.
Yeah.
Be the same old guy.
I don't care if this is in the video because it is your opinion.
He could have been another Markiplier because Markiplier's not a bad dude. He's a phenomenal dude, like, as a human being. He's a great dude. So he could have been another Markiplier. He could have profited off of being another Markiplier, in fact. Not necessarily another Markiplier, because Markiplier and his upbringings were kind of different on YouTube, but, you know. And I could sit here and talk about how YouTube itself has sort of fucked itself over as a platform, but I think it's, you know, better we transition to the whole internet for this one, because it is about that time. You know, and I have so much to say about the old internet. Do you mind if I sort of lead with this one?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. When I was growing up on the internet, it was maybe the 2010s, maybe mid to late 2010s. And, you know, I had gotten like my first phone in middle school. So, you know, I have learned a lot by being on the internet, and I've seen how it's changed since then. I was in middle school in about, when I graduated in class of 2023. Oh God, I don't even know. But the point is that I've seen a lot as it's changed. The timeline is insane, and the way it affects things outside of itself is kind of baffling. Not really baffling, but intriguing, right? Like, it has so much power only because we give it that much power. When I was growing up, the internet was not for the faint of heart. I think that it's good we have more rules and regulations to how you should behave online, but I think people have started policing everything a little too much.
That does remind me. That does remind me of like a pattern I've been
not a
seeing.
fan.
Like, I'm not trying to get into cancel culture, but I'm just like gonna pick out some like things I notice. It seems people are so scared of being a bad person on the internet that they like. Well, sometimes they just forget the meaning of words. But I hate when people, like, use the word problematic consistently. Like, yeah, it's an actual word. But, like, a word is said so much that it gets to the point where it's, like, they don't know the actual meaning of what a problematic person actually is anymore.
100%. 100%.
And another thing I noticed is that people have to clarify in their, like, sentences all the time that, oh, just because this doesn't mean that, you know, they have to explain nuance while they
have to over-explain it, is what it is.
Yeah, they have to over-explain it.
Let's not pretend like we all didn't go to school, and I'm sorry if you didn't, I'm sorry if that's insensitive to some people, but you were taught basic reading comprehension, yes? Why has media literacy, because of the internet, become so lacking? I just want to know. And when did we lose the ability to, one, think for ourselves, two, understand that not everything has to be taken to heart, and three, when did we lose the ability to use our common sense, right?
It's not to say that there hasn't been ignorance on the internet, you know? I feel like people
I've been ignorant on the internet.
Yeah, people have always been dumb on the internet. We're not, like, romanticizing, like, any of this, but you do have to, like, I don't know, it's just, like, it feels like, yeah, the old internet was offensive, but I feel like there needs to be this, like, middle ground where it's like, we should at least like, like we shouldn't be too offended by everything and have to clarify everything, you know, but we shouldn't be too offensive either, you know.
There is a line that you shouldn't cross, and there is a line you should draw for yourself as well. There's two lines in the sand here, right? If I don't want to see something on the internet, I know that there's other corners of the internet I can go to where that doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? Where the thing I'm avoiding won't follow me, right? And on top of that, words on the internet online only have as much power as you let them a lot of the time. I'm not going to say, you know, every doxing situation or every death threat is something you should, you know, kind of laugh off and shrug off. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's no need to assume that everything is that serious all the time. Right? Like, if somebody had said they were going to come do something evil to me, right? You know, to my house or to my family, whatever, right? I am not going to take that necessarily as an immediate threat unless I see proof of action. And I'm going to remind everybody this. At the very least, in the United States of America, you are allowed to defend yourself and your property. And side note on this one, whenever an opportunity comes to defend yourself and your property, do not hesitate. Just so everybody knows, because that causes more problems by hesitating. But, you know, it's if somebody had made a threat to me, I'm at my house, my own land, right? I have every right to do whatever I want to them as soon as they come onto my property because they are intruding, right? I have every right to tell them to leave, to get the police involved, to defend myself by any means necessary should it escalate to that situation. And yes, there are steps. I'm not going to immediately jump at the opportunity to whack a motherfucker on my yard because they said something mean to me online, right? But, I mean, it's not a real threat until it's in front of you, in my opinion, online. That's just common sense, I fear. It's much easier to hide behind a screen, and let's talk about this. I think we need to bring back a little bit of cyberbullying.
Well,
just a little bit. Just to keep people humble. To give them tougher skin, okay? It's important that we all just toughen up a little bit.
Yeah. Now, I was going to talk about, like, you're talking about, like, there's other places on the internet, which is something I want to talk about because I feel like, well, there is a lot of places on the internet. It's not as much as before. Because now, like, again, I grew up during the 2010s, so of course I had, like, social media, you know?
Right.
But I felt like even during the 2010s, I felt like there was more places to explore, if that makes sense. Especially, like...
Honestly, yeah. I feel like a lot of websites and apps have gotten taken down, you know? Just because they were obsolete or because too many people decided to break the rules. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I hate to bring it up. May the devil keep its soul. Amino, right?
Oh my gosh,
Amino
I was
used
thinking that.
a vast corner of the internet, right? Like, it was an app that had other fucking communities inside it. Like, it was an insane thing, and it was great. It was a great idea. A lot of things went wrong with it. I will say this. A lot of things went wrong with it. But on Amino, you could go from different community to different community to different community. You could meet people from the same communities, potentially. Eventually, it will overlap.
I feel like...
You can kind of go wherever you wanted.
I feel like Amino, like... How I say it? It's like... It embodies, like... It kind of embodies the old internet because you could find...
Oh, I have to agree.
You can find places, like, just for you. And it's like... I'll say it. I've had, like, very bad experiences on Amino. Like,
of course,
don't get me wrong. But...
Same.
But... It still... How I say it? It still, like, made you feel, like, more connected in a way. And, like, it was still fun. Like, it was like kind of a playground. I won't lie. Like I don't know, just every
Straight
other
up.
app feels like saturated or like no, desaturated, I think. And boring compared to that. Like it feels
Right.
more corporate, I guess. Like and it feels like harder to like make like friends and such like on like something like Instagram. Like how are you gonna make friends
Yeah.
on Instagram? Like sure, you'll find
It's
someone
not
in a
the
comment section.
same, like, it's the same concept as connecting with people, because that's social media in a nutshell, is connecting with others.
Yeah.
Um,
But Amino feels like you
Amino had something for everybody, no matter what you were into, whether you were alternative or preppy or,
not the same
you know,
thing
into
now.
sports or into art, you had a place on Amino,
And you
right?
know, it's not like so with like Instagram you like scroll through things, but like with Amino, I think it's because you could go through like different places like chat rooms, posts, like and stuff like that, or other people's profile. Like I guess you could do that on it, like go to different
You
people's
could
profiles on Instagram, but like it's
go through
it
a
feels
number
more
of pages.
it feels more like you're like exploring a place. It feels like how to say it? It's like you're in a building and like going through different rooms and such. Instagram doesn't feel like
Is
that.
it like the back rooms?
Yeah, it's like the back rooms. Instagram doesn't feel like that.
Amino is the back room.
Instagram doesn't feel like that. It just feels like you're in one room and how to say it, like you're just going through each person or something.
I think also with you know, if we're gonna talk about Amino embodying old internet, and again to bring up cyberbullying, how we should quote unquote bring that back. With Amino, it kind of forced you to deal with your own problems with people because you know, the moderation teams were fucking shit. Okay? I'm gonna be so honest with you. There were staff members who were supposed to have a job, which was to protect the community and protect the members and to keep things at the very least civil. But they were either completely lacking or too overbearing in their position. With Amino, since you couldn't go to moderation to trust them and deal with your issue, you kind of had to figure out what to do on your own, right? You either learned to respond a certain way to people or to not respond at all, to block people and lead the conversation, or to stand your ground depending on the circumstance. You know, you learned the common traits of people who are trolls, the types of people you see on the internet. It was an educational experience despite being kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, I do want to say something. The moderation was shit. I have to admit that, obviously. But I feel like part of it, like, I think part of it wasn't just the moderation. I think part of it was just, it feels more like you're in an actual social space than, like, most, like, other social medias. Because it feels like you're actually, like
yeah,
around a ton of different people. You know,
it's more alive.
Yeah, I think it's because you can see who's like online and stuff, so it feels like there's people.
Well, there's also VCs and
VCs too,
DMs and public chat rooms. Like, in a way,
so I think
Amino was like a more chaotic Discord, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I think Amino is a little bit like Amino. Not this comparison is gonna be peak. I think Amino is like if you went to a convention and were like talking to a bunch of different people
from like different fandoms or something.
Yeah, like that. Like it feels like you're in like. It feels like you're in a actual like I know like Amino's the most middle school thing, and that's what I'm saying. It feels like you're in an actual middle school. So.
Oh my god, and you're so right. Well, if I may, right, like
It feels like you're in
Considering
an
my
actual social.
considering my amino experience, yeah, exactly the same, almost to the fucking T, bro. Like the drama and the befriending people only to like not really talk after that because you're, both new or whatever. Or maybe, you unite through like a traumatic experience that happened to the both of you. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking middle school, the way that people interact with each other. But still,
like
all these different people can coexist.
It feels more
yes,
real. I think that's why people fight more.
Natural.
Because it is more real.
Yes. Well, I'm obviously a fan of diversity, right? I mean, look at me. Look at what I do with my spare time. I am clearly a fan of different things. I like that all these different things and different people who enjoy these different things can coexist and connect and make friends with each other, even if they would have never done that outside of Amino or the internet in general. I think, nostalgia sort of clouds the mind when it comes to old trends or like old app functions or old games that aren't around anymore. I think nostalgia kind of keeps us a little blind to the future. But I think considering the future, there's nothing wrong with missing the old internet because, and hear me when I say this to all people out there, the old internet would have made you much more capable of surviving the hell on earth that is now. I'm going to tell you this, like as a fact. If you couldn't have survived the old internet, you can't survive real life. Putting this out here now. It's all behind a screen, by the way. You don't have to take any of it to heart. The block button is absolutely free. And on top of that, I recommend that people maybe get off the internet a little more and go outside. Breathe some fresh air, get some sunlight on your skin, Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin, because no one else can feel it for you. Mm-hmm. I'm done being a dork and referencing music. Go ahead, finish this off, and then we'll talk about furries and fandoms.
Yeah, so I was actually gonna mention stuff that transitions into that. I was gonna say that, okay, so you can find a lot of creativity on the internet now. Of course. Like, it's all over. But,
I mean, well,
I feel like...
I'm gonna say this. I don't think people are as creative as they used to be, in a way.
Well, okay, I have an opinion on that. It's because... It's because I don't know. I kind of disagree with that to an extent. And I
can tell you why I feel that way.
But I still want to get to my point. Is that...
No, yeah, go for it.
Is that
go for
I
it.
feel like... Because when I was, like, on the old 2010s internet, I feel like people always had, like, a common art style. And, like, sometimes that happens now. But I feel like people have, like, distinct, like, art styles now than back then. Like, this is diving into the furry thing, but I see way more, like, not to say there wasn't creative art in the furry fandom back then. But I feel like late 2010s is where it started getting, like, where you can tell, like, you still have that nowadays, like the average furry art style. But, well, maybe not just, no, I gotta dive into not just furry art styles, but, like, the average, like, Tumblr 2010 Steven Universe art style. Like, I feel like...
Oh, God. Don't bring that up
it's just,
to me.
I remember, like, all of that, and, like, everyone had that same art style. I had that same
I have a comment to make.
Go ahead.
I have to say something before we delve into a different thing. I'm going to say this. I'm really glad there's more diverse art styles now, only because of the Steven Universe art style and how it overtook everyone. I don't know what Rebecca Sugar put into that animation, but everyone was trying to get a piece of that. It was insane. I feel like it ruined Cartoon Network. And a little bit about the different animation styles. Cartoon Network used to be so fucking diverse with their shows and animation, and then Steven Universe came along and the art styles just fucking decreased in like diversity 100%. It was slightly different, I suppose.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. Okay. Go ahead.
I was gonna mention unrelated. Well, it's still about the art community. I was gonna talk about how it felt like artists back then had actual fan bases. Like, there is still like artists that have fan bases, of course, but I'm gonna mention somebody that, well, we don't really like because she's weird. She's weird. Lupus Vulpus was an animator I used to watch.
Who the fuck is that?
That's the Christian like furry that like was transphobic and like stuff.
What?
So she got called out, like she's a weird person in general, and her excuse was just like, all I have is love in my heart, and Jesus forgives me or whatever.
Thank you for making me holy,
So
and thank you for giving me holes to choose from, and since I'm
Lupus
not a
to
godless
this day
whore.
does kind of still have a weird fan base because Lupus is back and has an Instagram account. There is still people who like obsess over this woman for some reason, and like I feel like her art isn't even that good anymore. But anyways, she used to have like, people were fans of her characters, of her OCs, and like you only ever get that when it's like an actual like TV show or something. And like, while Lupus did have like one pilot. Didn't get any other episodes. People are still a fan of like her characters and stuff, but I don't see that anymore. I don't see people being like genuine fans of like other people's OCs.
That's because Vivzy Pop stole all the fans ever. Vivzy Pop took them.
And there's only like, I guess there's only one person I can think of. But like, I feel like, because Lupus animations, like, they always had like some sort of story going on. But there's this one guy that's like, it's the whole like undercover animator thing. There's the Mr. Calloway guy. Like, I'm not shitting on him or anything like that, but I feel like, because there doesn't seem to be like, it's just like a normal animation meme, and like I guess people are a fan of this like one OC, but like people were fans of the worlds people were like making. That's what people were fans of. I know I'm getting like a little off topic, but it's just a section I want to like add, because I do want to get to more stuff.
Yeah, because of the artist fandom things, I could see why you'd want to add that. I mean,
yeah. So like, there used to be like whole communities for like artists that we liked.
It's part of like culture, like fandom and internet culture.
I don't really see that anymore. People.
No, I don't either. I mean, I see it sometimes, but not a lot. Not like I used to.
Not a lot. There were people making, what was this Evolutions comic? Well, there was this Evolutions comic that people would like do dub-overs with. It's kind of like the same stuff people would do with like Undertale fan artist. Like, they would do like comic dubs over it, and people would be like, oh, I love this artist and their comics and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of, I don't really see people like, but there's definitely some comics online that people like, but I don't see these whole like comic dubs and fan bases for them either. Like, remember the the Bendy and Cuphead, like, I forget what it's called. I think the artist turned out being weird, but I think that was just, like, one of the examples that can come off my head.
Mm-hmm.
Bendy
and Cuphead crossover makes me think of Sonichu, of Chris Chan. Our Lord and Savior, our God, Chris Chan.
I hate the guy, but, like, well, I do also feel that's a whole other topic, though.
And that shit was insane. Anyway.
Even he, like, okay, he doesn't have a fan base, but, like,
But he had an audience, if you will.
He definitely had some kind of audience, but, like, his concept
he had a following.
Like, the Sonichu concept definitely, like, was, like, something you'd probably, like, find on the internet that people would be genuine fans of. If his art wasn't, like,
no,
shitty,
for sure.
If his art wasn't shitty, people would be all over that.
Dude, no. If it wasn't a fucking vent piece, it would be so.
If it wasn't a vent piece, and, like, basically, if someone else made Sonichu, it would be like
no.
Construct
Imagine Vibsy Pop made Sonichu. Do you know how many people would buy into that? Too many to count. Jesus Christ. Oh God.
That also reminds me of, like, Vibsy Pop's, like, old comic, Zoophobia. That's also another, like, I know Vibsy Pop has a show now, and she has this whole fan base. But before that, she had, what I'm saying is, artists had, like, little tiny fan bases, but, like, it was still a community, in a way.
They had their own community.
There was a Zoophobia community, because she made this Zoophobia comic. Even then, even just, like, not just the comic, but, like, people were just, like, there was kind of a Vibsy Pop community in general. Like, before she even, like, released, like, Has Been and all that, like, for example, I used to, like, try and copy her art style. She would be...
Oh, her art style has become so fucking prominent, and... Okay. I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait till you talk about, like, furry art styles and stuff like that to revisit Vibsy Pop's art style and the impact it's had on the internet.
Alright. But anyways, it just felt like there was more communities based around artists. But now it feels like you're just like, buy my art. You're like Squidward with the little mug being like, buy my art, please.
No, because, like...
It just feels like, it's more like, oh, that looks cool. I'm gonna scroll past it. I'm not interested in the OC or anything like that. I don't care.
Dude, I wish people would ask me about my OCs, but I will talk about it anyway. I need to, like, make a video of my own where I just yap about my own characters for, like, an hour.
People like
therapy.
Making OCs. People like making OCs.
Right.
But people aren't interested in other people's OCs anymore. And...
Dude, if I wasn't so terrified of the way people act online, I would definitely reach out and try to branch out more and try to make more friends and, you know, indulge in OC content. You know what I mean?
Now it's like...
People are so...
Now it's more like, oh, that's a pretty OC. Oh, it's just about... Like, it's usually just about how the OC looks. Not really like, oh, is this OC interesting? Does this OC have some kind of story? You know? Like... Yeah. No one seems to care. No one seems to care about that. They just see, oh, pretty OC, I'm just gonna like the post and leave. It's just like, no, there's entire fan bases. I know you don't know who FoxDXD is, but FoxDXD was a Flip-a-Clip animator I used to watch, and people were interested in her OC, and it wasn't even a good OC, it was just a brown fox, that she shipped with Freddy Fazbear. Okay, I'm not trying to be mean. It was a good...
That's like peak fucking internet, though. Think about it. Like,
it is.
Oh my god. She was cringe, but she was free.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, like, just by, like...
No,
well,
but yeah, there was no character to it other than that.
It's not, like, well, okay, I just disagree with that, but also you haven't seen it. She would make, like...
Isn't that what you just said?
Well,
I haven't seen it.
It wasn't... I'm not saying it was just that, but it wasn't, like, that interesting either. It was, like... It was amateur, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it was
right.
One of those Foxy X Mangoes X Chica videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff like Foxy XD would make. And then she would later on go to like, making like stories with like her Five Nights at Freddy's OC and Freddy Fazbear, and they would have like children and all that. And there was kind of a story, but it wasn't like, oh, this is peak writing, you know? But now if you posted that there, if you posted this to TikTok now, people would be like, what would they say? They'd be like, art lore or something. What do they or like...
Just some brain rot trend term that, you know, just doesn't mean anything.
This is corny, by the way. I'm crying.
I live on the cob, dog. Like, I'm so... And you know what? The internet has its ups and downs.
It's just
But like... I will say...
Go ahead.
Fan content versus, like, original, like, universe content, like... I feel like fan content has become more popular anyway, so it's kind of, in a sense, harder for artists to build community off of their own characters and work.
Fan content is way more popular. I think that's what... Because
I
think fan content people do have fan bases. Like, they make AUs...
Because of the fucking... Okay.
They make AUs and, like, such based on, like, the fan content. I see a lot of, like, just followers for, like, fan content. But rarely do I ever see followers for, like... Well, I see followers for OC content, but it's not really the OC. It's just, oh, this person's art is pretty. Not, oh, I'm interested in this. You know?
Well... I think it gets to a point, like... as an artist myself, it gets discouraging to see this, you know what I mean? To see fan content being better received than original content, original work, which is what you say you want, right? Which is what the internet says they want, is they want something original. They want something to really, you know, gnaw on, something different, something new. But they only ever respond to the same stuff.
Then they just bully.
They only respond to
that's original.
And that, like, okay, do I think we should bring back cyberbullying? A little bit, and I will continue to say this. However, right, when your response to getting the thing you're asking for is to immediately be offensive, I think you need to log off. Like, you know what I mean? Don't rip off this and that and the third, okay? But when I give you stuff off the top of the dome, you kind of make a little face like you didn't want that. You know what I mean? And so I bring you your usual. And then you get mad at me all over again. What do we want here? And I think part of it is trolls. I'm gonna be so real with you. Some people are just fucking hateful to be hateful. And those people need to go read a book.
You know,
Jesus Christ. Go read a book.
I think it's weird that, like, if you didn't even have to be super good at art back then, because
you just had to be passionate about it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I got like a lot, like kind of a lot of attention back then, despite my art being like, shit. Like it was bad.
Same.
It did not look good.
Me too.
But for whatever reason,
your art is better than mine.
1,000 people subscribed to me back then, and I would get way more views on my videos. But now I'm at the art style that's fun, that's desirable, people don't care.
Right, after you've put in all this work to improve to a level that you were satisfied with it.
Yeah. And, like, if my art
Which
was
is
back
just,
then,
like...
people would be, like, all over it, I feel like. Maybe, I'm not trying to glaze myself, but I feel like...
It would be. No, let me tell you, your fucking style specifically would probably get everybody hyped. I'm not even joking. Like, the 2010s, the 2000s and 2010s were a particularly edgy time in general. I mean, in the mid 2010s, we kind of started being tender for some reason. Why? Tender why?
It was
We're not a
Steven
piece of meat.
Universe.
It was not Steven Universe.
joking,
You
I'm
know
joking.
what it was?
I'm joking. I was just trying to make a joke.
No, because I was really ready about to go off because it's not a no, it's a funny joke. No, but
Steven
like that shit
Universe,
pissed me off. That shit gets me so fucking riled up because why did we become such weak bitches? I mean, I'm not gonna say we as in you and I, but as a general populace, like when did we become pussies? I'm gonna be so real. It's ridiculous.
Have you seen the video where
honestly appalled.
Actually, I think I sent it to you, but the guy sounded like Kyler,
What is
and
it?
he was on Dean Withers' like podcast thing. And he's
Stop! I love that video. Do we got a problem, puss?
Do you support Trump?
That should have you
Do you have a
fucking.
problem, puss?
That shit had so fucking like. I hope they make a reference to that in the next Class of 09 episode. Jesus, I would love to see such a thing. Please, 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 please.
Problem, puss is crazy.
Do we got a fucking problem, puss? Like,
it would still be cringy if it was pussy, but the fact that he said puss.
No, because you thought you were so tough, bro. You thought you were so
Bro thought he was tough. He thought he was
dude.
He thought he was tougher than tough. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared right now, guys.
Timmy Tough Knuckles, bro.
Bro's
Timmy Tough Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Dude, that shit is so fucking funny.
Oh my god.
How you gonna come up in there like that and say puss? Yo, you sound like such a punk. That's so whack as fuck. No, but you know, the edgy art styles, right?
Yeah.
The edgy art styles were really popular back in the 2000s, 2010s. Your art would be absolutely devoured by the masses on some fucking let them eat cake shit.
The fuzzies.
Jesus, you know?
The fuzzies would be all over it. They want me.
And they would too, and that's a great segue.
They want me bad.
Dude, I can't believe, and you can leave this in if you want, I can't believe a furry referred to my hands as paws to compliment me. To compliment me on my quote-unquote paws.
Oh, Salem.
Specifically.
Salem, you have such cute paws.
I have the cutest fucking paws, bro. I'm like fucking Robin in Teen Titans. I got them baby hands. I'm so serious. Like,
furries love your belly.
Little tiny hands.
Remember the guy who...
They love my big round belly. Let's not talk about my belly on YouTube, though.
Okay.
They don't need to know I'm fat. Okay. They don't need to know I'm fat. Okay. Oh, but if you guys ever feel bad about yourselves, go talk to a furry. Ask a furry to compliment you, because they will with sincerity.
Yeah, if you're...
I'm so
Here's the thing.
real.
If you're conventionally attractive, they won't care. But if you're not that attractive...
If you're a little fucked in the face, you will be beloved by the fucking fuzzies.
They'll be like, oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
I love your paws. That's what they'll say. No, but go ahead, talk about the furries, Feather. You know more about it than I do. I have a persona. I'm indifferent to the community. I mean, obviously I hear the good and the bad, but
I was gonna mention this like briefly, but I kind of miss old like furry content. Obviously Salem wasn't there for that, but people, I don't see furry content at all on YouTube. I know this is related to YouTube and we're just like away from that topic, but it's still part of the internet, so I'm still gonna talk about it.
Right.
So there's definitely still furry YouTubers, but furry YouTubers also made skits or did like challenges and stuff like that. Like Mujir Strawberry used to do that. He used to. I remember the interview with Telephone and stuff like that, and it was just more fun. Furry YouTube barely exists now, and there's some furry YouTuber like. There's this one specific furry YouTuber I don't like. Most people don't like him. But Beta Ada Delota, like, pisses me off because all he
What a
does,
fucking name. Wait, say it one more time.
Beta Ada
Really
Delota.
slow. That is a mouthful of fucking sounds.
So Beta... Okay, so all Beta does is he just, like, scrolls through Reddit posts and reads, like, furry memes. And, like... Oh my god. Okay, I don't like most furry memes. Because, well, number one, they're... Not to be hateful, but they're usually by gay male furries. They're just hypersexual. Like, it's all
That's
just,
not
like,
hateful, that's just true. That's just a fact.
It's just true.
Anytime I see a fucking furry meme, it's about some femboy who wants to get digged down on some gangster shit.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that's your business. You're allowed to want that. But you shouldn't be posting that either.
Why is it your personality? And why is that
No, because
I don't like that's, like, a furry personality. Like, I don't know. Like, because I'm, like, not necessarily scared, but, like, I don't want to be, like, seen as that. Like, oh, this is what furries are into, or this is what furries are, you know? And, like, furries complain about...
Because you don't really feel that way.
Yeah, because I'm the, like... 2000...
You're the first person to tell people furries aren't that bad.
I'm the 2010s AMV furry. Not the I'm a femboy, I want to be dick down furry.
Oh, yeah, it's... You know, with, you know, keeping in mind that I technically don't exist in this community as somebody who gets to have an opinion with this. I'd rather you talk about any fucking thing else than your sex life as a furry. Because, and this is not to say that furries are predators of any sort. It's just weird that that's the thing that you focus on mostly as somebody who could probably do anything given the kind of community you're in. That's the thing you focus on primarily is the sex. Especially when you're
there's
so semi-animal. And, like, I love werewolves. I'm not gonna sit here and, like, talk about that as if it's, like, completely wrong, right? Like, because I love werewolves. But, Jesus Christ, bro. Like, at least werewolves hunt. Or...
I mean, woof.
I don't know. Fucking fight or something. Like... Come on, man. The whole thing with furries shouldn't be sexual content.
And it's like,
especially
it's like there's
if you want to be respected.
Like why like
the art, the hybrids, the patterns of the fur.
Well, not
sorry.
Just that, but like there's more cool concepts with like why don't you have like the Timmy Tough Knuckle furries? Like
Tough Knuckle furry. Do we got a fucking problem, puss? Dude, someone should make...
I mean, like the cool ass designs that like people outside the furry fandom wouldn't like understand, like if they have no knowledge of it. But like they have these cool ass, like they have like these large like fangs and they look badass and shit. And it's like, and then here's Twink Fox 2000 coming in with his basic blue fursona that's just personality is I want to beat them down. And also, what was I gonna say? Beta is weird because like
That's crazy.
I think he's a baby fur or whatever.
That shit doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I know a little bit about all that kind of stuff because I'm friends with Feather, and Feather is very honest with me about, that kind of thing. I ask, how bad is it? Feather tells me. Now, I'm gonna say this. Do I think there's anything wrong with being a furry at surface level? No. Do I think there's anything technically wrong with age regression as long as it stays how do you say appropriate? Yes. As long as it stays appropriate. Yes. Do I think age play is a good thing? No. Do I think combining age, because that's what it is, it's not age regression, and that's where people get confused. It's not age regression, it's age play. Combining age play, which is, in my opinion, disgusting, with something that's already kind of a little bit of a taboo subject, that's just setting yourself up for failure. Being a baby fur is honestly one of the worst things you could probably be on the internet, outside of all of the awful, horrible things that already should have more attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's gone to the point where, like, I've seen, like, quote unquote, baby furs, like, how do I say it? Detach from the baby fur community and call themselves something else because they're just age regressors. Because of the weird.
And where does the furry part come in?
Well, they're still.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, I misunderstood. You're right.
Age regressing and still like draw their like first.
I applaud them for that. I genuinely applaud them for that because it's not the same thing, right? Being a furry who happens to age regress, right? And I really can't say this enough. They are all different things. It's not hard to figure out where the line is supposed to be drawn, okay? You know what I mean? But to be a furry who age regresses, that's okay. I'm okay with that. Nobody is at risk in this situation, at least not to a more severe extent than they probably already were, right?
Just trying to involve like anything sexual, like even if you're not going after children, just combining sexual shit with anything that has to do with innocence, it's just weird.
I agree. And, part of that is society's fault. We're not going to talk about it. Yeah. We're not going to even get into that.
Yeah, don't get too much into that.
No, because it's, for a different time,
Yeah.
But it is partially society's fault that people are so comfortable mixing such elements in such a way. I think that's terrible. I think people need to use common sense more, right? And just kind of take a step back. If you say you're not doing anything wrong, why do you feel like I'm talking to you like you're doing something wrong? Because you are. Because you're doing something weird and wrong. It's wrong to do that. Sorry. Hate to be that guy. You're mixing a bunch of weird shit together. And, also on top of that, putting it onto something more attachable to blame it on, right? Because furries and here's the thing, it's not without a good reason a lot of the time. But furries get a lot of shit for no fucking reason, as it is. Attach, and I guarantee you there's more that goes into the baby fur than just the fucking diapers. Okay? Right? It's weird, bro. Like, there's gotta be a better word. It's predatory.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody. It's fucking predatory to do that. That's strange. Especially because the furry community is sort of an all ages experience.
Yeah. And
yes, there are certain circles for that.
And this has always been a problem so this isn't like this was like old furry community too, but like furries have like had this issue, like not all of them obviously, but some of them have this issue with being like sexual where it shouldn't be, you know? And like,
Right.
I guess no, it is kind of controversial take, but like it's why people don't like people wearing pup hoods to all ages cons, because
What, like those leather
the kink like,
masks?
leather thing, yeah.
Okay, so that shit kind of okay. And this is not just for the furry community. I'm gonna put this out here now. If you have to go to a specific website to buy the item you're wearing in public, where there definitely will be children, you should not be allowed to attend that convention. If you have to go to a specific website, and you know what I'm talking about, to get such a fucking piece of attire, to then go parade that around in public where there's definitely kids, you are a sick and twisted individual. You're gonna sit here and act like you don't know what you're doing, like you don't know how weird that is. You know, I'm just a furry, I can't afford the mask, I can't afford the fucking heads and whatever. Shut the fuck up.
People's excuse is that it can be used for multiple things, and it's just like, okay, let me put this logic somewhere else. So if someone used a latex suit for their Hornet cosplay, right? But it was so obviously sexual because you can see where the zipper is, first of all. And like, I get that's not the same thing. The pup hood is on the head. But anyone who has a brain can tell that if you have like a leather thing on or latex thing on, that's a kink. And if someone brings their child to the convention and sees that, they're gonna be like,
well, I'm gonna say this.
This isn't a place for my child, even though it's supposed to be all ages.
I'm gonna say this. Leather accessories are 100% valid. Leather belt, leather boots, leather gloves. I mean, there are options to use leather for your costume. But when a primary part of your costume relies on it being leather specifically, or latex, or whatever the fuck, when it relies on being tight like that, that's weird.
And if you do use that in the... Now that I'm thinking of another argument while I'm saying this. If you do use that item in the room and you start wearing it in public, it's like, that's weird. It's weird. And now I'm like thinking of this other argument, now that could counter mine, which is, oh, some people wear like mersuits in public and no one, but I feel like that's different because, number one, no one would know because fursuits were meant for cosplay. And I know another argument is people are gonna be like, oh, no, the furry fandom was founded on kink. And it's like, partially, kinda, but not really. The concept itself isn't.
Yeah, not completely. You can't say something like that as fact when there's more to it than that.
The early furry fandom did have like that in it, but it was not the concept. Like the concept wasn't like, oh, I find these animal characters attractive. It was more like, oh, these animal characters are cool. Also, we all happen to be adults, so we could probably be more freaky.
I mean,
like, I was watching those old videos. I didn't see a single child there.
No, yeah, and that's the part that people forget is like, it's not about what you're wearing technically, because being in such a community about self-expression, you should technically have a safe space to express yourself. But this is a safe space for a multitude of people, right? Including people who aren't old enough to be around that kind of thing, to keep it simple, right? There are rooms you can go to for that. if that's really, really, really what you want to do, there's places you can go, people you can talk to.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring that to a public convention.
There's an after dark. There's like literally like at
For
night.
sure.
At night, you're allowed to do that. That's literally a thing that happens. Like you can wear all that stuff.
It's not like you'll never have an opportunity, really. Yeah, no,
Like,
you're right. There are like
you have a whole hotel to yourself at night. How great is that?
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
I mean,
hold on a moment. Hi, kitty.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna say this. I think part of it, though, here's the reason that it's so bad. Here's okay. I hate to be this guy. What if part of the whole thing about, but we just want to be ourselves in public in the same spaces too? I think that's part of your fucking kink, dude. I think that's part of your fetish, is to be, like, seen in this. Yeah. Which is, that's part of your fantasy. That's helping you get off, because you are getting off on it. I know you are. There's no reason that you're coming to this fucking area like that if you're not. So, you know what I mean? I think that's part of it. I think people need to stop saying, oh, it's inappropriate to wear that specific item, and say you're getting off on wearing that specific item around children. Even if you're not thinking about the fact that there's children there still are children there, and you're still getting off on it. Like, on being witnessed like that, whether they're children or not. Right? Like, maybe they don't take in the age difference, the age groups there, right? Maybe they genuinely don't think about it, but you kind of don't get the option to think about it once you're there in front of a child who's looking at you kind of, you know, with their head tilted, like trying to figure out what you are, and you're dressed up in fucking pet play BDSM. Like, what the fuck do you expect me to think? That you're not gonna go home and get off to that? To getting witnessed by anyone, even if it's a child? Maybe that's not part of your fucking fantasy, but it's still dangerous to the people around you, right? Like, the children around you, you know? And that's honestly all I have to say about that argument specifically. Stop using the it's inappropriate to wear that item, and say it's inappropriate to get off on wearing that item in public. Because, you know, that's the whole point of the item. That's the purpose of its creation, was to be a sexual thing.
And there's like,
you could say
whole,
you're not doing that, but like,
I'm not gonna get too into, but I'm just gonna say I disagree with it. Is the whole, oh, the furry fandom shouldn't even be for kids because it started out sexual.
By the same logic of kids shouldn't be in the furry fandom because it was initially a sexual thing, the furry fandom, I know they love Bluey, so I'm gonna bring up Bluey. The furry fandom as adults loves Bluey, right? As an adult, you shouldn't be into Bluey because that was made for children. That's, you know what I mean? The same idea. You shouldn't be into Disney, you shouldn't be into Bluey, you shouldn't be into a lot of things if that's how you feel about it. And also, that's just factually incorrect. That's legitimately just false information.
That's legit just not.
We already went over that, right?
Like,
but like,
there's
again, false information.
There's a whole documentary about this, and about the OG founders of like furry, like it just started as like liking
the people who were there when it happened.
Yeah. And it started at like a comic convention. They were just dressing up as furries, and people are like, why the fuck are you here?
Straight up. And so, you know, they kind of made their own way. I gotta go my own way. I lost my lighter, and now I'm kind of starting to freak out because I really hope it didn't fall like between the, like, what do you call it? Like, bed and the thing the bed sits on, the thing the mattress sits on? The frame?
Yeah.
The frame.
That's
what it's called. Yeah, okay, well, I forgot for a second. I keep losing stuff. Like, I lost my hair tie last night.
Should I end the
video? I had to get a different one. No, because I mean, we gotta do a little bit of an outro, don't we?
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
well, I don't mean like right
I
now.
already know
mean,
what I'm about to say.
Do an outro and then end the video.
Oh yeah, and then we're gonna do
the game.
The game, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to download Roblox. Roblox.
But
I think I was saying something before I lost my lighter, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure the point was that it's really dumb to police children in that community when, I mean, they technically, in a sense, overtook a lot of children's media with their community.
Yeah.
Oh.
But anyways, like, hold on, I'm gonna cut that out.
Cut what out?
Me struggling to speak.
It's cute. I like it. You're just like a real anime girl.
Meow.
You said meow?
I said yeah. Should I keep that in the video?
Yes, you should keep that in the video. Of course, you should keep that in the video.
Yeah.
I'd be upset if you didn't.
But
that's so peak.
Anyways, I just wanted to talk about all this stuff with my friend, because there's a lot of stuff I just miss about the internet. I feel like, maybe some people want to listen to me talk. I don't know. But anyways, I think that's pretty much the end of the video. So, hope you enjoyed it.
Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my YouTube, princelytype. Thanks for having me, Feather. It was a pleasure.
You guys should.
It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Even though you're on my channel, so you probably are.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they weren't.
Yeah, why aren't you subscribed to me? But yeah, that's the end of the video. Bye bye.